Hi, let's take a few minutes to go over the syllabus. As you can see at the top is my contact information. Feel free to call me, text me, email me, whatever you'd like to do. If it's a weekend, please text me first. I probably will get back to you much faster texting me than emailing because I won't check email as often on the weekends. And also, if you're working on an assignment, please text me. That way I can get back to you right away, and maybe I can get back to you as you're working the assignment so you don't have to go back into the assignment. So anyway, please reach out whenever you need me. I'm not going to go over everything verbatim in the course. You can read the syllabus. In regards to the Intro to Business class, it's a survey course. We're going to go over a lot of topics: econ, social responsibility, management, leadership, but we're not going to go into depth in each one. That's why it's a survey course. It's just giving you an idea about what business is about and some of the different aspects of business. I'm not going to worry about going over outcomes. You can read those and the objectives. The assessments, how you're going to be, how your grades will be determined. Mind tap assignments. I need you to get the book. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Discussion questions. We're going to talk about those. And we'll talk about the midterm and the takeaway assignments. So all this we need to talk about, but these are the criteria which your grade is going to be built on. And here is the book that you need. So it's the BUSN by Kelly and Williams. Make sure you get the edition with MindTap. Now, if you get MindTap for this book, there's an ebook that comes within MindTap. So that's probably the best route. All the assignments are built off of the book. Now, there are PowerPoint discussions that I talk about each chapter, and I hit the highlights and I share some of my own personal experiences. But all the assignments are going to be based out of the book. So it's very important you get the book and MindTap. The schedule, you can see here, week one, we're over chapter one, so we're going to start right away. And you can see the weeks and the chapters that we're talking about. You can see where some of the assignments are due. So the midterm project, which we're going to talk about soon. So I'm not going to read each one of these to you. You can read those. So let's talk about the discussion questions. There's going to be one discussion question each week. What I'm going to ask you to do is to post a paragraph to the discussion question by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. Now, there's going to be some discussions that you have a choice or one or two. You can pick one or the other to choose from. So I try to make it where it's not all the same answer, and I try to make it where there's not a true definition answer. I try to make it all open-ended. So that's how I want the discussions to be. So you do your paragraph by 11:59 Wednesday, and then you reply to two classmates by 6 p.m. Sunday. The reason why I do 6 p.m. Sunday is that a lot of people will do their work on Sunday nights, and they can go into the class and see what was written to them. Whereas if I made the assignment due 11:59, a lot of people would wait till 11:30, post a couple sentences, and the person would never know someone replied to them. So this way, they can see that indeed someone replied to them. Now, speaking of replies, if someone gives you a reply, have the courtesy to reply back to them. What I hope happens in this is that you're checking the discussion forum often. If you are, Wednesday 11:59 is the deadline, but maybe you want to post on Monday or Tuesday. If you post Monday or Tuesday, there's a chance that people are going to reply to you earlier, then you can start a dialogue, which is what I want to happen in the discussion forum. Now, you can't reply to the discussion question and the classmates on the same day. You have to post on two separate days. So you're applying Wednesday and you apply a classmate Thursday, that's fine. And if you see that someone replies back to you, again, please respond back. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on that. As we move down a little bit, there's the rubric for the discussions. MindTap assignments, these are going to vary by chapter in terms of point value. Some may have four, some may have three. It's just three assignments within the MindTap. They're not long at all. And I've had students do MindTap assignments. They like them. They feel like they learn more from MindTap than doing tests. And so I went this route. So that's why we're doing it. I don't know if you've had MindTap classes before or not, or MindTap assignments in your classes before. But I like using them. Like I said, students have given positive feedback, and I hope you do too. And I look forward to getting your feedback. All right, now the takeaway assignments. The takeaway assignment, you got the discussions I do, the voiceover PowerPoints. You got articles in the units, supplemental articles, and there's also supplemental videos. And what I'm looking for you to do is to go into the discussion that I do, takeaways, find an article, read an article, one of the four, three or four that's posted in the chapter, give a takeaway, and then with the YouTube videos, watch one of the videos. What are some of the takeaways? That's what you're going to turn in. It's not meant to be difficult by any stretch of imagination, but what I want is to expose you to more material than just the book, and that's the purpose of this. And here is the rubric for that. All right, so let's talk about the midterm. Now, the midterm is a 3 to 5 minute voiceover PowerPoint presentation. And what I mean by that is exactly what I'm doing here. You see me speaking as you got the screen in front of you. In this case, I'm doing Microsoft Word, but you would do yours in PowerPoint. The chapter overviews that I do with the discussions, that's a voiceover PowerPoint. That's what I'm looking for what you to do. Now, it's 3 to 5 minutes. And what I've done is given you choices of topics, okay? And if you like one of these topic choices, great. If you want to do something different that's on this list, please reach out to me. There's more than likely I'll say, okay, go ahead and do it. But I might ask you a couple questions like, what about this topic do you like? What do you look to get out of it? But if there's something that you're interested in, you're going to do much better on this assignment. You're going to have more interest, you're going to put more time and effort into it, and come out with a much better assignment. So I'd much rather that than for you to pick a topic that you're kind of like about, and the assignment's not going to go too well for you. I want everything that we do in this class to be a positive experience so that you want to learn the material that we're covering. Okay. And here is the rubric of that. Now, the takeaway presentation, same thing as the midterm with the voiceover PowerPoint. However, with this, you're going to give me some takeaways. What did you get out of the class? And so it could be based upon the reading, it could be based upon the discussion questions, the articles that you looked at, the videos that you looked at, the assignments that you've done. So anything, what was a key takeaway that you got from this class? And so, or takeaway. So there's 5 concepts. And so what I'm looking for is a voiceover PowerPoint. Now, one thing I would caution you on in this PowerPoint and this voiceover PowerPoint and the midterm, don't have a phone up here recording you as you're talking on the screen and use that. All right, I've seen students that before. That is an instant way to fail the assignment. So I don't want you to do that. Do this. I am using ScreenPal. Others have used PowerPoint. You can do some straight in PowerPoint. There's other software, whatever you want to do. But that's how I want you to do these assignments. Exactly what you're seeing now. So that is my overview of the class. Oh, one thing before I forget. The surveys. At the end of each unit, there are 2 survey questions. Surveys are 100% voluntary. They're anonymous. I don't know who answers the questions. I don't know who says what. But what will happen is, if you so desire, and I hope that you do take them, that you do the surveys, I will post the results the following week. So you can kind of see what your classmates feel about a certain thing, how you voted one way, maybe your classmates voted some other ways. And that's, all I want to do again is to try to stimulate the learning in the class. And I want to build this into a really good environment. I've been part of online classes that have been magical, and people participate, and it's almost a better experience than face to face. I've also been part of classes where no one participated. It was awful. And I don't want that here. If you give this a chance and if you work at it and be involved in the class, I think you'll really enjoy it. I really do. And I hope that you do. At any time you have any questions on the material, the syllabus, the assignments, anything in general, please reach out to me. Again, you got the email address, you got my phone number. Call me, text me, email me. Again, just to reiterate, on weekends, please text me. So that's my overview about the syllabus. If there's any questions at all, please let me know. Again, always know I'm here for you. Take care of yourself, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the course room. Take care of yourself. Bye.